You think you know Harry Houdini, the most famous magician of all time. But did you know that Houdini considered Appleton, Wisconsin, his hometown? Houdini lived in Appleton between 1878 and 1882 after his family emigrated from Hungary. This is where he first became interested in magic and daredevil feats. It's said that he had his first experience of cheating death after a plunge into the icy Fox River. Houdini went on to become a world-renowned escape artist, but loved returning to Appleton to perform. Today, you can walk in his footsteps along College Avenue, see Houdini statues, and visit the Houdini exhibition at the History Museum at the castle. The Wizard of Waukesha. Les Paul is Wisconsin's most influential musician, pioneering the solid-body electric guitar, multi-track recording, and other innovations that transformed the music industry. Though he never learned to read music, Les Paul dropped out of high school in the 1930s to go on the road as an in-demand guitarist. In his spare time, he experimented with ways to amplify a guitar, starting out with a railroad tie and 2 spikes. Later, he created a solid-body electric guitar from a block of wood, calling it the Log. This was the forerunner of the Les Paul guitar, introduced in 1952 and revered to this day. Paul perfected his overdubbing technique on a series of irresistible hit recordings with his wife, the singer Mary Ford. Listening to their version of Tiger Rag without smiling is quite simply impossible, not with Ford purring, "Here, kitty kitty," while Paul's electric guitar provides meowing glissandos. Believe it or not, a coin flip brought Kareem Abdul-Jabbar to the Milwaukee Bucks 56 years ago today. In 1969, the Bucks had the worst record in the NBA's Eastern Division. The Phoenix Suns had the worst record in the Western Division, and the coin flip would determine which team got the #1 college draft pick. Tails brought the astonishing Abdul-Jabbar to Milwaukee to launch one of the greatest careers in basketball history. He earned 3 MVP awards with the Bucks, along with an NBA championship, and all because of a fateful flip. Did you know that Wisconsin played a key role in the rise of women's professional sports? I'm Dean Robbins, and in my book, Wisconsin Idols, you learn that the All-American Girls Professional Baseball League launched on May 30th, 1943, with a match between 2 Wisconsin teams, the Racine Bells and the Kenosha Comets. The league allowed top women athletes the rare chance to get decent salaries, play for big crowds, and bask in media attention. At first, the women were seen as novelties, but fans soon realized they played an impressive brand of baseball, and attendance skyrocketed. Those pioneering players from Kenosha and Racine paved the way for the Women's National Basketball Association, the Women's Tennis Association, and other pro leagues. You might know that Frank Lloyd Wright emerged from Wisconsin to become one of the world's greatest architects. But you might not know that the most iconic images of his buildings were taken by his chosen photographer, Pedro Guerrero. I'm Dean Robbins, and in my book, Wisconsin Idols, you'll see how Guerrero photographed Wright's work as if it were sculpture, showing it just as Wright wanted it to be seen. Wright met Guerrero in 1939 and saw promise in the college dropout's meager portfolio. He hired the stunned young man on the spot and tasked him with photographing the 2 structures that served as his headquarters, Taliesin in Spring Green, Wisconsin, and Taliesin West in Scottsdale, Arizona. Guerrero marveled over the unconventional forms and devised a way to show the patterns, textures, and angles to best effect. Wright and Guerrero worked together until Wright's death in 1959. Their headstones are now near each other in the little cemetery across the road from Taliesin, and it's fitting that the 2 friends are joined for eternity in Wisconsin. Hank Aaron established himself as one of the greatest baseball players of all time with the Milwaukee Braves and Milwaukee Brewers. But Hammerin' Hank has a lesser-known connection with another Wisconsin city. I'm Dean Robbins, and in my essay collection, Wisconsin Idols, you learn that Aaron started his career in professional baseball as an 18-year-old phenom with a minor league team called the Eau Claire Bears in 1952. Having grown up in segregated Mobile, Alabama, Aaron was unprepared for this all-white community, and it was just as unprepared for him. But a remarkable thing happened that summer. He and Eau Claire fell in love with each other. White families offered dinner invitations, and Hank accepted. He became particularly close to one white family and embarked on a romance with their daughter. The two teenagers sat on the front porch holding hands, a daring gesture in that racist era, and it caused no public outcry. As Aaron said later, "I was treated as fair as could be in Eau Claire." In pop culture, Wisconsin is often portrayed as boring and bland. But if that's true, how do you explain the fabulously flamboyant Liberace? I'm Dean Robbins, and in my book Wisconsin Idols, you learn that Liberace came out of West Allis as a classical piano prodigy. But he soon began adding flashy, popular music to his act. Audiences loved it, and Liberace got the message. Flashiness was his future. He trafficked in excess, always delivered with a friendly wink. He arrived on stage in a Rolls Royce or suspended from a wire. Liberace's costumes included purple hot pants and a white coat with a 16-foot train. He became the highest paid entertainer in the world and once told a reporter, "I didn't come here to go unnoticed." Joyce Carol Oates is one of our greatest American writers, but she may never have reached such heights if she hadn't failed as a Madison graduate student. I'm Dean Robbins, and in my essay collection, Wisconsin Idols, you learn that Oates came to the University of Wisconsin in 1960 for an advanced degree, thinking she could become an English professor while dabbling in fiction on the side. But she felt her soul shriveling as she labored under a system that discouraged her unconventional literary ideas in favor of academic drudgery. Plus, writing fiction on the side proved impossible as her professors demanded that she compile footnotes, and more footnotes for her research. After obtaining her master's, Oates failed to get into the university's PhD program, a blessing in disguise, as it allowed her to pursue her true calling as a fiction writer.